Have you ever wondered what it would be like if a nation turned against itself? If families were torn apart and brothers found themselves on opposite sides of a battlefield? That's not the plot of a movie. It's the raw, powerful story of the American Civil War, a conflict that shaped the United States into the nation it is today. Let's journey back to the mid-19th century and uncover the heart-wrenching tale of a clash of brothers. The year is 1861. The United States is a nation divided. In the North, the Industrial Union stands firm, while in the South, the Agricultural Confederacy secedes, determined to preserve its way of life, including the institution of slavery. This wasn't just a political disagreement. It was a fundamental clash of ideologies, economies, and futures. The primary cause, the deeply entrenched and morally fraught issue of slavery, intertwined with disputes over states' rights versus federal power. As tensions boiled over, the first shots were fired at Fort Sumter, and the country plunged into a brutal 4-year war. Imagine the scene: vast armies marching across the American landscape, the Union, with its powerful industrial base and larger population, against the Confederacy, with its skilled military leaders and fierce determination to defend its homeland. This wasn't a war fought in a distant land. It was fought in American fields, forests, and towns. The names of the battles echo through history: Bull Run, Antietam, Vicksburg. Each one represents a story of strategy, sacrifice, and immense human cost. This was a war where new technologies like repeating rifles and ironclad warships changed the face of combat forever, leading to staggering casualty numbers previously unimaginable. It was truly brother against brother. As families with roots in both the North and South found their loyalties tragically split, perhaps no single event captures the soul of the conflict more than the Battle of Gettysburg in July 1863. Over 3 devastating days in Pennsylvania, the Union Army, led by General George Meade, clashed with General Robert E. Lee's Confederate forces. It was the bloodiest battle of the war, a brutal turning point that halted the Confederate advance into the North. The sheer scale of the loss was staggering, with over 50,000 casualties. The ground itself seemed to cry out from the weight of the sacrifice. A few months later, standing on that same consecrated ground, President Abraham Lincoln delivered one of the most powerful speeches in human history, the Gettysburg Address. In just 272 words, Lincoln didn't just memorialize the dead. He redefined the very purpose of the war and the nation itself. He spoke of a new birth of freedom and resolved that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. His words transformed the conflict from a war to preserve the Union into a struggle for human equality and liberty for all, reframing the American experiment. Lincoln's leadership, his unwavering resolve, and his profound empathy steered the nation through its darkest hour. By 1865, the Confederacy was exhausted. General Lee surrendered to General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse, effectively ending the war, but the fighting's end was just the beginning of a new, difficult chapter, the Reconstruction era. The nation faced the monumental task of rebuilding a shattered South and integrating millions of newly freed African Americans into society. This period was fraught with its own challenges, political battles, and social upheaval, as the country wrestled with the promise of equality and the realities of deep-seated prejudice. The 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments were passed, abolishing slavery and granting citizenship and voting rights, but the struggle for true civil rights would continue for generations. The American Civil War stands as a critical event in the American history timeline. It was a brutal, heartbreaking war that tested the nation's very soul, but from its ashes, the United States was reborn, a single, indivisible nation, finally forced to confront the ideals of freedom and equality it was founded upon. It's a story of division and unity, of despair and hope, and a powerful reminder of the price of freedom. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through one of history's most pivotal moments. If you found this story as compelling as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the events that shaped our world. Let me know in the comments what part of the Civil War you find most fascinating. Until next time, stay curious.